Tonight we're in Williamson, West Virginia, standing in front of a building locals call the Hospital on the Hill. It's been sitting quietly up here for decades, looking out over the town like it's still keeping watch. But before we talk about the activity, there's something you need to know. There's a story that hangs over the third floor of this hospital. A story about violence, unanswered questions, and a man named Mose Blackburn. It's the reason this location has been on our list for so long. Hello friends, my name is Marcia, and this is Midwest Ghost Hunters. This wasn't the first hospital in Williamson. Back in 1927, the original hospital building located downtown caught fire after a leaking gas line ignited. It was a scene of terror and chaos. Smoke pushing through the corridors, patients being rushed out into the night, orderlies shouting instructions through the haze. 34 patients were inside. All 34 survived. 3 were severely burned, but thanks to quick-thinking staff, especially orderlies Herman Miller and Raymond Edwards, every person was moved out before the structure gave way. A year later, in 1928, the new 50-bed hospital, this building, opened. But this wasn't just a hospital, it was a lifeline. Coal miners, families, and travelers climbed the steep steps from College Hill Road to get here, and for decades this hilltop hospital served the entire region. But the event most people remember, the one that put this hospital on the paranormal map, happened in 1962. On July 21st, Lieutenant Garnet Richmond, a local police officer, was fatally shot during a domestic dispute involving a man named Mose Blackburn. In the confrontation, Mose was also seriously wounded in the arm and brought here, admitted under police guard. Tensions in town were high. Everyone knew everyone, and everyone had an opinion. 8 days later, July 29, 1962, Mose fell from a third-floor window, the medical and surgical floor. Did he jump, or was he pushed? That question has lingered in Williamson for more than 60 years. His family insists he would never have taken his own life. Locals believe otherwise. Whatever the truth is, Mose survived the fall but never recovered, dying in the hospital less than a month later after infection set in. Many believe his spirit never left the hospital. And as we'd soon find out, almost everything we experienced centered around the area near his old room. It was August when we finally got access, hot enough that the air felt heavy before we even stepped inside. No breeze, no movement, just a stillness that sits right in your chest. Inside, the hallways were dim. You could smell plaster dust and old paint baked into the heat. We found a room on the second floor we could use as base camp, and then we set up our usual equipment. We had full access that night, from the basement where the old ER once operated, all the way to the 4th floor where the pharmacy used to be. And 5 stories in the August heat, that's a workout. Now the building does have one blessing. The old elevator still works. Somehow. After hauling gear for hours, we grew very fond of that elevator. If nothing else, it saved us from complete exhaustion from the climb between the basement and the 4th floor. Although every time the doors closed, we gave each other that hope this thing makes it look. The night started out quiet, the kind of quiet where you hear your own footsteps echo 2 rooms over. But as the sun went down, the mood shifted. The air got heavier, more still, and the atmosphere changed just enough that we knew activity was starting to stir. The 4th floor had a strange hush to it. You can't always explain what feels off, but you feel watched. Not threatened, just watched. It didn't take long for something to make itself known. Once we had completed our baseline readings and left the area, one of the cat balls lit up when no one was anywhere near it. Completely unexpected. But as we moved down a level, things appeared to get more intentional. The 3rd floor changed the moment we stepped out of the elevator. The air was different. Electric. We saw shadows moving across the far end of the hallway, and we heard distinct footsteps. Slow, steady, and coming from an area where no one was walking. This is the medical surgical floor. This is where Mose stayed under police guard. This is where he fell. And this is where we spent most of our night. Not because we had planned to, but because the activity kept pulling us back. During one of our early EVP sessions, everything suddenly clicked. We asked a direct question and received what sounds like a direct answer. We're not going to tell you what we think it says. We want you to listen for yourself.
Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we're just sitting here talking to Mr. Blackburn. What else do you want to tell us, Mr. Blackburn?
In that moment, the entire hallway felt like it shifted. Not dangerous, not negative, just aware. This is something investigators recognize immediately. The atmosphere becomes more focused, like the room is paying attention. Later, during a very intense EVP session, the REM pod lit up. Once, then again, and then in what appeared to be direct validations to the answers we were receiving. Because family members are still living and some of the questions asked during the session touched on personal history, I'm only sharing a small neutral snippet here. Our intention is always to approach these moments with respect for both the history and the families connected to it. The full session, though, lasted well over an hour.
She wanted to be seen that way.
Got ya.
She didn't want to be an old maid. She wanted to be taken care of. She didn't have much to do with child rearing. She didn't need to do that piece of it.
Thank you. And you wanted to take care of somebody, correct?
But
we weren't dealing with random environmental triggers. This felt intelligent, and it all centered on the hallway where Moses' room used to be. Was it him? We can't say with certainty. Paranormal communication is rarely clear-cut, and we avoid drawing conclusions that we can't support. But someone was engaging with us, and doing it intentionally. Before we wrapped up, we made one last stop in the basement, the old emergency room. Down here at the back of the building, it sits against the hillside. But in the front, those old ER doors look straight out over the city. It's a strange mix of being underground on one side and above ground on the other. The space is quiet now. Cold. Long stretches of hallway where the echoes don't travel far. Those front doors, once crowded with people rushing in during their worst moments, are now hidden behind the vines creeping up the hillside. The noise of a busy ER, the waiting rooms, the cafeteria, all of that has been replaced by the stillness of what's left down here, the morgue and the crematory. We did get some REM pod activity in the ER, but the most unexpected sound didn't come from this floor at all. It came from directly above us, up in the old ICU, the distinct sound of a person whistling. Not wind, not floor creaks, not equipment noise. A whistle, clear and deliberate. We clearly heard it from the basement. It wasn't dramatic, but it was unmistakably human, the kind of subtle piece of evidence investigators pay attention to. So who's walking these halls? We can't say for sure. The building has lived through loss, medical emergencies, and the kind of small-town tragedies that leave emotional fingerprints. The unanswered questions around Mose Blackburn's fall still echo through this place, and it's impossible to walk the third floor without feeling that weight. But we can say this. We made contact with someone, and the energy inside this hospital didn't feel residual. It felt aware. Places like this hold on to their stories. You feel it in the stairwells, in the quiet rooms, in the shift of the air when you ask the right questions. This is one of those locations we'll absolutely be returning to. There's more here, more history, more answers waiting, and maybe more to the story of what really happened on that third floor. Thanks for coming along with us on this investigation. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and may the truth reveal itself in the shadows.